Hello and welcome to Scale Model Maker. Today we're going to be building a diorama for 1/12 scale motorcycles. 1/12 scale is really easy because it's 1 inch to 1 foot. You're going to need 3/16 inch black foam board, 3 32nd inch balsa wood and some other various sizes, and a balsa stripper. Here I've got my wall cut to shape. I'm going to make the balsa wood sheet the length or height of the wall. I like to make wood of various widths, and so I use a master air screw balsa stripper, which I've had forever, using it for model airplane construction. And here you can see it easily strips a piece of wood. Setting it for a little bit wider board, and voila, another one. I'm going to round the edge of the board with the knurled side of the knife. This gives a pleasing shape. Okay, so to stain our wood, we're going to use some folk art acrylic paints, licorice black and some dark brown, some water, a brush, and I just put a small amount of the folk art black and a little bit larger amount of the folk art brown in the mixing pan. I'm going to start with a generous amount of water, and you can see I'm slowly getting it thinner and thinner. It really doesn't need to be very thick. Remember, it's just a wash. Okay, now the fun part. It easily is applied to the board or the balsa wood strip. I do this quite quickly, actually. I've sped up the video slightly. This is really close to real-time speed. When you're doing about 50 to 75 boards, it helps to have a good process. Alright, the boards have been set aside and they're dry. Here you can see I've created some balsa wood boards and painted them with various shades of brown, gray, and a little yellow. Really a pleasing look and gives some real variety. So we're going to use some Aleene's Fast Grab Taki glue to attach our strips to the foam board. I'm just using a very thin layer of glue. You just really don't need much. You don't need to use Aleene's glue. You can use any kind of glue, but I like Aleene's because it sticks tight right from the start. Here I've positioned the first board. Got the glue on the second board, and voila, it's now in position. If you had a window cut out, you just simply sheet over the window cutout, and then flipping the wall over, you cut the window out of the balsa wood boards. And there we go, we got 3 down, and we're going to do the rest of them off camera. Okay, so I've done the rest of the boards, and here I've added a nail effect. And I just use a 2B pencil or something similar, sharp on the tip, just stick it in and deposit some of the pencil lead. The window was cut out previously. This is a dollhouse window I got at Hobby Lobby. Remember, we're building this in 1/12 scale, so we're going to be using this for our 1/12 scale motorcycles. Okay, so here's the floor of the shop, and I've staggered the boards here. I've added the nail holes, and I've added some splashes of washes to make the floor more interesting. I've got a door here that I made out of 3/32 inch balsa with strips. I painted it dark blue and then did some dry brushing with light blue. Let's check the fit of the wall to the floor. It's looking good. You can see I allowed for the thickness of the floor and the thickness of the joining wall, just to make it fit together like a puzzle. I made the doorknob and hardware from Sculpey oven-baked clay and painted it with steel gray paint. I also made the light switch out of Sculpey, and the conduit was made out of just aluminum wire. Now we're going to add some conduit tie downs, and I've taken aluminum foil and doubled it over and cut these small strips. And then I just fit them over the conduit or aluminum rod and glue them in place with some CA glue. It's little touches like this that bring believability to the diorama. I used a black Sharpie to further detail the diorama. Also, you could use some small pins, anything that would give a nice look. Okay, so let's get ready to glue the structure together. So I weight the floor down, and using tacky glue, I apply a liberal bead. The plan is to fit the wall in place, and then using some additional weights, press them against the back to hold it all in place. And now we're going to join the side wall. We're just fitting the walls together using weight to hold the structure in place while the glue dries. All right, it's looking good. Let's let it dry, and then we'll come back and keep working. I just had to stick one of my motorcycle models in place just to see how it looked. So we're going to build a workbench in the corner. So here's all the pieces I'm using. Some 3/32 inch balsa, which I've stained and painted and cut to length. And here I pre-constructed the bottom of the workbench, and now we're going to do the top. So I pre-cut all these pieces. These are made out of 3/32 inch balsa strips as well. And everything's going to be attached using CA glue. All right, top of the workbench is looking good. And we're going to do a test fit here. Everything seems to fit good. We need to get a rough measurement for how far apart they should be spaced. The top of the workbench is about 2 3/4 inches. I Pre-cut the 1/8 by 1/4 inch balsa strips that have been pre-colored. I made 8 individual legs, which will now be CA glued in place in the corners. Done the first 2, let's speed up the video a little bit. It's just a repetitive task. We'll fit the lower bench in first, followed by the upper bench. Careful measuring paid off because the bench fits perfectly. So let's secure it in place. I was pretty pleased with how the bench turned out. I felt like it was pretty realistic. In fact, I've had a bench like this before. We're now going to permanently affix it into the diorama. There's our basic workshop scene completed. I made some other parts out of Sculpey, oven-baked clay, a gas can, a roll of electrical tape, and a couple of beer cans, if you will. In one of my motorcycle kits, I had a spare engine, so I dug out those parts and painted them up and put the engine on the workbench. I felt like it was a really nice addition. My Ducati's looking awesome in the workshop. Here's my Suzuki GSX 400E and my RZ 350. What a fun project this was. I really had a great time making this structure. I'm going to be making more in the future. This is the first one. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like, and don't forget to click that like button. Have a great day, and go build some scale stuff. Thanks.